Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you some basic knife skills that will help you in the kitchen and allow you to cook some future recipes that I'll be adding to my channel with ease and make it more enjoyable for you. So to start, we are going to begin by removing the bottom and the top of the pepper. We will be discarding the green stem and keeping the top and bottom parts of the fruit. We're just going to get rid of that green piece there. And then after that, we will go ahead and find a seam on the pepper. And we will take our knife and putting our knife at that seam, we will cut through without going through to the other side. Turning the pepper down towards the board and rolling it out, removing the core and all the seeds that come with it in one. So we're going to start by cutting this piece of pepper in half, and then we're going to go ahead and remove all the veins, all these little white lines you see. There's nothing wrong with them, but they just won't make our cuts as nice. We'll take that first half, cut it in half again, and then roll our knife through it to start the julienne. Once that's finished, we'll grab the second half and we will pull the knife back through, drawing it along the pepper. I like to use this method because it keeps the pieces more uniform and allows me to see my next slice before it happens. Then I'll flip the pile over and use a forward cut to finish the dice. On this third segment, and go ahead and we're going to make my slices. So to do that, we're going to square off an end and then just draw the knife through. That'll give us these nice uniform slices. They're great for salads or anytime a pepper will be utilized raw in a dish. From here you could dice those long slices too, but I'm going to leave them long for this video. You'll also notice I have these oblong, misshapen pieces. These aren't trash. They're good for soups, sauces, stocks, purees, or anything other preparation that you will not see the final shape of the vegetable in. So make sure you hold on to these pieces too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with this onion. So to begin, we're gonna cut the top off, and then we're gonna lay the onion down on that flat cut surface. Cutting through the core, we're gonna place both halves down on the board and begin to peel. Now that I got both halves peeled, we'll go ahead and we will start the julienne on this one. So to do that, we're going to make two parallel cuts and a perpendicular cut at that core and removing it. So now we're going to put our knife at a 45-degree angle. And with a smooth chopping motion, we're going to lift the knife up off the board vertically and just cut down through the onion. Now there's going to be a point where we get too high on the onion and you might be a little nervous that you're going to cut yourself. Just go ahead and flip it down like that and just start the process over again. That prevents you from having to pull your knife up off the board too high, less of a chance of you cutting yourself. So next, we will begin to dice the onion. So to start, we're going to make some slices through the center. And you'll notice that I have the handle of my knife off of the board. This is going to allow my knife blade to lay flat, which will make my slices down the onion even. So I'll go ahead and I will cut all the way up the length of this onion. once that's done, I will flip it and then make some cuts, almost like I was julienning, without going all the way through the back. You want the onion to stay together as best as possible. I'll flip it again and then make cuts like that. And you'll notice all the dices just fall, all uniform. And that is a diced onion. And just to clean up this back half here, I just make some even slices across and then cut it down again. A few more slices. You'll notice how little I threw away. Alright, so to start with this yellow squash, we're going to go ahead and cut the top off, cut the bottom off, and we're going to line it up and square off one end. That'll give us another flat surface to work with, keep it from rolling on us. Then we're going to cut even slices. And these slices that you cut, the width of these are going to be the width of your final dice. So they need to be even and uniform, however large you may want your final dice. So I'm going for a small dice here, so I'm going to do that. Discard that end. And I have 3 pieces to work with here. So, discarding any pieces that don't cut the mustard. Go ahead and line them up and cut our dice. Go ahead when you start this, start slow. There's no rush to do this. You want to make sure you master the technique before you start working on your speed. You'll notice there's a lot of waste for making such nice pretty little squares. So we have 1 or 2 options. We can make the pretty squares and have a large amount of waste that we'll have to find another use for, or include some of the off-looking pieces into our dice and have less scrap that we have to find a use for. Either way, it's up to you. It's all dependent on what you want your final product to look like. All right, so our 4th and final ingredient of the day, we're going to be working with this head of garlic here. So to begin, I found the best way to do this is to use the heel of your hand, rolling the garlic against the hard cutting board until it shatters in a way and all the cloves break out, like such. Then you want to go ahead and remove the individual cloves from the pile of peel. Your hands will be sticky when doing this. Casualty of working with fresh garlic, but I promise the juice is worth the squeeze. So now that we got all of our cloves clean from the gross majority of the peel, we're going to go ahead and break the clove. So to do that, we'll put the knife over each clove, pound it down with our fist, and break the peel or husk so we can remove it. Now you can go ahead and do this one or two ways. You can break the husk on every individual clove and then peel every individual clove from start to finish, or you can break all the husks at once and then peel them all at once, like you see me doing here. The latter tends to be faster once you get this skill mastered. And now I can go ahead and just peel each clove because they're all ready to be peeled. This may seem like a laborious process. You might just at times want to reach for the pre-peeled garlic, the pre-minced garlic in the oil in the jar, or even garlic powder. But I can assure you that neither of the three will give you the same flavor or punch that fresh raw garlic will give you in your food. And it's healthier too. So to prevent you guys from the boredom of watching me peel this entire head of garlic, we'll just go ahead and skip to the good stuff right here. All right, I got all these cloves of garlic now peeled. So I'm gonna go ahead, and there's really only two ways that you can cut garlic. Really, you can do slices, whether they be with a knife or a mandolin, which I can show in a later video, or a mince. I don't really like rough chopping garlic, biting into large pieces of garlic, whether they're cooked or raw, can be sometimes unpleasant, so I would strongly advise just to stick with the fine mince or a thin slice, depending on how you want them to accent your final dish and final flavor of that dish. So here you'll see me slicing the garlic, clove by clove. You just see I just roll the knife right through. Very simple. And then from here, once I have all this garlic sliced, I can go ahead and pull it all into a pile and then chop it really fine, and that would be minced garlic. But for this video, I'm just going to leave this sliced. Well, all right. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.